What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report for our Halloween special, the Monster Brawl in the Cemetery here. The Great Pumpkin, Dormammu himself, bringing Dracula and Encantu against Blade and the Midnight Suns here. And hopefully nothing has changed after filming this one, and that these guys are in fact Midnight Suns. Because quite frankly, the bump and the Siege of Darkness were very integral.
Yeah.
Because I think Frankenstein took down Dormammu with a siege, and Werewolf by Night took down Encantu with a siege.
Yep.
But I want to start off with that first gambit over here. You got Dracula up there, and Frank's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go up and punch this dude in the face, and did 2 damage, and then you just turned around and almost dummied him in 1.
Yeah.
Had me sweating right off the hop there.
We were talking about what Dormammu brings to Dracula, and turn 1 being able to have that online is kind of rude. I liked that. 2 power, meaning that I got to slap Frank, was a lot of fun.
So your original argument to me was like being able to shapeshift turn 1. And I'm like, dude, I don't think that's very good. Apparently being able to punch me back is way better.
I definitely was thinking, I'm always thinking about movement and power, trying to power people up. I knew that Encantu would need power to do his big Anubis thing. I wasn't wrong, and then I had the chance to do it, and instead I decided to go with, I think it was Drac.
I think that was the right call, though, because Drac took out Frankenstein's monster, and he dazed Blade.
Yeah, but it was definitely trading Encantu for it, so I was like, I guess that's fine.
Now, in all fairness, your dodge roll was a very unfortunate dodge roll.
It was.
You took a full 4 from Werewolf by Night on that one.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, though, I think Werewolf by Night, with his extra activation, or his extra parts of his activation, should have probably taken him down. It just, I guess I slapped him in 1. Done.
Yeah. The other thing I want to point out, though, is that Encantu was also kind of soloing Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight.
Yes.
Whatever that means there. Moon Knight really didn't... I think Moon Knight made 2 attacks this game. I think it was 2 staff attacks, and that was it.
Yeah.
But still, Encantu held up rather well.
I really like him as a model, and I want to see that Anubis thing go off really well, but not yet.
Yeah, it's interesting because I do like that card, and I think it's a great part of his kit for sure. And
it's funny because Dormammu and Encantu both have things that when you roll skulls as part of your attack, you get some sort of thing. You can use soul tokens to change them into wilds, but I rolled all my skulls with Dracula pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of skulls with Dracula, a lot of skulls with Dormammu as well.
Some. You rolled enough of them for me to balance out.
Man, so. I am so glad that Blade is allowed to reroll skulls against Physical and Mystic.
Big cheer for me.
That's what kept him alive there. Blade was a friggin' champ this game.
Yeah, no, he did well. He did really well.
Which it's nice to see because unfortunately, Blade has kind of been left behind. In a lot of instances.
Yeah, he probably needs a little bit of a glow up if AMG is taking a look at it, models that might need some help. I also have dreams in the future of an awesome leadership from Midnight Suns that's not attached to Blade, because I feel like Blade kind of needs to stick around or else he gets punked too soon.
We'll see what Elsa brings to the table.
Yeah.
She's supposed to bring a leadership with her.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. Elsa and Man-Thing are coming, and allegedly Elsa is bringing a leadership with her for the Midnight Suns, which hopefully it's going to be something good. Here's the thing: it's hard to beat Bump. Bump is such a good leadership.
Bump is good, but if it's a decent leadership, it can be worse than Bump, and let Blade go off and do his fun stuff.
Or just does Blade have to come along at all?
Sure.
I hate to say that, but
I feel like he's too fragile to not be risking himself, but as a leader...
Here's the funny thing. He's not fragile. He's 4/3/4 with 12 stamina total, 6 and 6, right? He's not fragile. He's actually got a really good defensive stat line. It's just his abilities are just kind of there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see Blade's vampiric immortality matched to Dracula's vampiric immortality.
I would love to see that as well, yeah.
Make it range 3. That would feel a lot better.
Yeah, he always is just out of reach of people, or you're like, I'm not going to hit that guy.
Because he has no action compression, right?
Yeah.
He sort of has it with throwing glaives, and I'll hit on to pursue. It's not hard. Excuse me. It's not hard to get, but you are still rolling dice on 4 dice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Chances you're going to get a crit or a wild instead is just brutal.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where a little bit more action compression, even something as simple as maybe the pursuit is just I've been pushing for a bleed pursuit.
Yep.
If the target's bleeding, he pursues
Automatically, yeah.
automatically. And I mean, Glaive has an auto, or no, it has a wild bleed on it. So like there still is a trigger condition on there.
Yeah.
Or even if they just, made it like the same trigger, but I don't know.
Yep.
I gotta say, I think Werewolf by Night is a great addition to Midnight Suns.
Yes, I agree completely.
Like having that healing factor, having someone with some action compression to pounce around.
Yep.
It felt really kind of good.
I kind of feel like there might have been some times where you could have like done a bump into a pounce, but
do you know how many times I forgot about bump?
I know. You didn't forget about it when it was Blade.
No, I remembered when it was.
Oh, actually, you did forget about it when it was Blade. Because you decided to do the glaives to do the...
I could have bumped Katana, get the free bleed, which would have given me full rerolls in the Night of the Vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, Dracula still went down due to the Siege of Darkness there.
Absolutely, but yeah.
But, I kept forgetting about Bump. It was one of those things where it didn't feel like it was the most impactful thing that could happen in this particular game. But yeah, there was one or two instances where I think I could have been much more efficient if I had bumped.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say, outside of our Dark Dimension with Scarlet Witch into... Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking of Scarlet Witch into Dark Dimension.
Yeah.
I think this has been one of Dormammu's better showings.
I agree. Like, I felt like I was in control of the game for a pretty substantial point. I definitely felt a little out of technology compared to some other people on the table. Well, not on the table. I felt like Dracula had everything except rerolls, and Dormammu was like less stuff, but also no rerolls. And I'm like, oh.
So a little bit of dice fixing on either of them, and because you were rolling, like I don't think either of us really got diced this game.
No.
We were both kind of on the curve, and a little bit of dice tech, a little bit of dice fixing.
I honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like something like a Shuri hanging out in the background, spending extra power, giving a couple rerolls just so that I can get some skulls with Dormammu, and I can get some blanks covered up for Drax. So.
Yeah, no. And I got to say, I was really happy by Dormammu's performance in this game because he actually felt like I have to deal with him.
Yes.
Like on researchers, like, yep, I have to deal with him. He's a hard person to shift there.
Yep.
I made my choice early on with Werewolf by Night and Blade taking him on. And
that was a good choice.
It was a good choice until I got really worried when Werewolf by Night got pushed all the way back there and had to reposition. And
had to go pick on Incantu. Jeez, man.
Thankfully, Frank was able to come over and give Blade some help on that front.
Yeah.
Because that could have been really bad for Blade otherwise there. So, no, all in all, I'm loving the monsters. I really am. Once again, if you had asked me this time last year, like, hey, are you excited for the monster? I'd be like, what?
I don't even know who those guys are. Incantu, I'm aware of the mummy. They're from Egypt, right?
Yeah, they're a thing. But no, I'm really happy with the monsters in this game so far, and I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with them. And it's really great that this is coming out for the release weekend for the monsters as well.
Yeah.
So people can kind of live vicariously that way. But great performance by Dark Dimension. It's always great to see how Dormammu functions with some of the new tools that are coming out.
Absolutely.
As something that you're always up for trying and playing around with, which I know a lot of people appreciate.
Oh, I love Dormammu. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I just wish Dormammu was slightly better.
Just slightly.
Just slightly. Not a lot, just slightly better. So, but there we go. So final win for the Midnight Suns. Near attrition, though.
Near attrition.
Yeah, Blade was almost off the table. Moon Knight off the table. Frank off the table. Both Dracula and Incantu off the table.
Werewolf by Night scared of Giant Fireman.
Werewolf by Night was he was fine.
Yeah. Full health.
No notes. No notes on Werewolf.
Yeah, exactly.
So there we go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. We'll see you next time. Happy wargaming.